Brian, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your history of the company, but before that, I wanted to get into just the tungsten carbide impregnation, like that, just even that term. Can you just, a lot of people that are watching are going to know, but a lot of people are not. So can you just walk us through, whoever wants to take it, sort of what that process is, what that means?
So this is a process that our founder really pioneered, working with an old gentleman working in the oil fields of California back in the 60s. I mean, there are a lot of people don't realize Southern California, Central Valley there around Bakersfield is one of America's best supplies of oil, especially the good, thick, gooey asphalt producing oil. And he was working on a process to improve drill bits and looking to retire. Our founder bought the rights to his process
Mm,
and spent years in Roseville perfecting that process. We bring into our factory tungsten carbide cutter inserts from the metal machining sector, like metal lathes. We bring those in and crush them down into a particle size, falls between a 7 and a 20 sieve. So they're big enough to take impact, but small enough to melt into the puddle nicely and get a nice homogeneous mixture of carbide into the impregnation, which we do by striking a 1500 amp arc, melting the parent steel down to 3/8, about a quarter of an inch, say,
mm.
and then you inject the carbide chunks into that quarter-inch deep puddle, and now you have a quarter-inch deep layer of the tungsten carbide particles into the matrix of the steel. So it's not an overlayment, it's not on top. It literally is now part of the steel.
Right.
So that allows that steel to take the wear uh much better, but it uses kind of the structure, the rigidity of the base steel so you don't have breakage.
Is that and then so and then do you then make do you then make the wear parts from that? Sorry if I misunderstood, but once you have that made, then do you cut the wear parts from that, or does it become too hard, or do you have to do that, or do you have to design the part first and then do the impregnation?
Yes to all.
Oh,
For yeah, so for example, for some things we will actually just take strips of steel, 3/4 by 2 inch, 10 foot long, and we will impregnate that entire 10-foot strip of steel. Those strips you can actually cut through the backing steel and break them to whatever length you want, and then
mm,
weld that into any hot spot in your drum.
right.
We have customers that will buy bundles of 40 of these 10-foot strips, and then they're just welding them everywhere around their plant.
Uh,
If we're going to do a cutting edge for a front end loader, we're going to cut the steel, process the steel, put in the bolt holes, and then impregnate the carbide after we've manufactured the blade. We can put it into some steel castings or manganese castings. So we'll buy the casting in steel or manganese and then impregnate that part that's already finished. So it really is a all the above. We can use one of the tricks in our bag and kind of make a lot of it work. That's how everything's so customized.